Hello guys, and hello Monoxide. This is a response to Monoxide's video, but first, just before I was about to start recording, so I received this little thing, another bunch of DVDs from SmartMark I may be reviewing in the near future. Let's open it up and see what I got. And this actually, I received this extremely fast. Only took about 5 days, not business days, I'm talking about days in total, which is a new record. What do we got? Best of the Best 2008, CZW's Junior Heavyweight Tournament, Tournament of Death 2008, which would be 7, I think. The Best of the FWA Future Wrestling Alliance, not the British version, which has a lot of Mike Quackenbush and Loki and Monster Mac and guys like that, from 1998 to 2000, which was SmartMark's flagship promotion, which they'd started themselves to sort of get the name out there. Jakara Anniversario CT, don't know how to say it, and Anniversario MA, and Jakara's Anniversario MA, and IWA Mid-South's Extreme Intentions. So yeah, you may see some reviews of those coming up sometime soon. I don't know if you saw them or not. There they are there. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the camera. Anyway, where was I? Enough of that bullshit. Yes, Triple H. I'm just happy I got some new DVDs to watch. Triple H, where were we? Yes, Monoxide, I agreed with your video in what you said. You spoke about the inconsistencies of guys getting over, and how people on the internet are naive. Now, I debate this topic quite a lot, and there are quite a lot of people who defend him. Yeah, there are other guys who have done it, yes, but right now it's a problem. All they'll say, oh, who cares if Triple H does it? And you spoke about who cares thing, but it's that mentality which fucks everything up. But it's like, who cares Triple H done it? And it's like, well, who cares? You're stopping new talent from getting over. But it's not just that. The evidence isn't just in who's being buried by him and who's not gotten over on Raw. I mean, you can watch Triple H's DVD, which I watched, and I don't know, he sort of buried Mark Miro, and fair enough, and buried some jobbers. Didn't say it's like, oh, some jobbers are good, some jobbers are bad, and just said a few things which got under my skin. But obviously he didn't want to do anything to cause any more internet slagging. But one thing that you also need to realize is that it's not who's getting over and who's not getting over on the show that he's on. It's how much TV time is he getting over other guys, which is being one of my bigger arguments. For example, if you look at when Chris Benoit won the World Heavyweight title on Raw, he'd come over from SmackDown, because he'd gotten over to that extent on SmackDown, came over to Raw, and won the world title. Now, obviously Triple H doesn't have a problem losing to people, but it's just putting people who are underneath him over, which is what poses the problem, because he's lost to plenty of guys who are already over, which is which would be easier to do. Someone who's as over as you or more over than you beating you wouldn't be much of a big deal. But then you've got not putting guys who are underneath you over to make them stars, and that's one of the problems that happened on Raw when that was the thing. And you also had WCW guys coming in like Scott Steiner, Goldberg, and Kevin Nash, and I can't really remember any reasons why they were brought in. They were given high-profile feuds with Triple H. They had a couple matches with him. And then they'd be going back down to, you had Steiner, who started feuding with Testo, Stacy Keibler. Ooh, that was a hot feud right there. You had Goldberg, who, I don't know, went on and did something else. He always stayed in the main event level, but really it was fucking underneath Triple H when he was obviously more over than him, and had the potential to make more money because we'd seen what he'd done in WCW. And Kevin Nash, he'd been coming with the NWO thing and then feuded with Triple H, and then was feuding with Chris Jericho over their hair, and I don't know what happened to him. But it's just it confuses me. You know, they obviously had a shortage of guys on Raw that for Triple H to beat, because Triple H obviously was the top guy, but instead of him putting over more guys, making them seem like they could do anything, he just brought in guys who were already over from WCW and beat them. And then, you know, started bringing in guys from SmackDown who were already over and eventually would beat them. And, you know, the original point I was trying to make, which I got lost while doing it, I lost my train of thought, because, you know, I'm not reading anything, was, when Benoit won the world title, his title reign was overshadowed by a Triple H versus Eugene feud, which had more TV time than, you know, Chris Benoit versus Randy Orton. Now everybody would say, oh, but you know, it's because Chris Benoit was boring, and you know his title run was pretty much uneventful, and you know he didn't have a lot of charisma, and that's why he didn't get as much TV time as Triple H. But it's like, yeah, but he's a champion, and he's going to. And you know, he's obviously going to be doing the job to Randy Orton. Randy Orton's going to get the world title, blah, 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 blah. But, so why not give Randy Orton and Chris Benoit more TV time than Eugene versus Triple H? I don't get it. And you also have to remember, at the time, from, I don't know, about 2002 to 2005 or so, when Triple H was dominating, he would get 20 minutes of promo, or 15, 20 minutes of promo time. You know, him and Evolution, or he's, and it's something that a lot of people think, you know, that's like, oh, but he doesn't have the title, so he's not, you know, not putting people over. But yeah, he's also got more TV time than, you know, a guy like Snitsky. You know, and then on pay-per-view, you know, he comes along and, you know, jobs people, or squashes main eventers in matches which are under 10 minutes, and it just makes me wonder what a lot of people on the internet who are saying, oh, it's just internet bullshit, are thinking, when, and I think it must be overexposure to them that they just have been forced to. See, I've been watching wrestling for quite a long time, and you know, I didn't even come on the internet till 2005, and really started to talk with people about stuff. But I always kind of knew. I didn't know Triple H was an evil scumbag behind the stage, or backstage or anything. I was always just wondering why Triple H was getting so much time on TV and shit. Ever since, I don't know, 2000 or so, and not because he was a heel, nobody liked him. It's because nobody, and it's like, you know, a friend of mine had said, you know, on the internet, he said, no, in about, you know, when Triple H was getting a main event push, he was getting like no reactions, they just had to. He really sort of started to only come into his own after they built him up after the quad thing and made his return match and shit. And you know, now I'm just rambling, but my point is. Well, I ramble because I don't have a script or anything to read off of. I usually never do. But my point is, it's hard to not, you know, people say, oh, it's just internet bullshit, but the evidence is you know, right there on your television screen. It's been there for, you know, 8 years now, and if you haven't picked up on it, you know, these internet fucking rumors didn't come out of nowhere, and they wouldn't stay around if there wasn't any basis to the argument. And there is a basis to the argument, because we've seen it on TV for, you know, 8 years, as I said, and you know, if you're missing it, it's either one, because you're naive, or two, because you love Triple H so much that you're going to defend him. So you know, he doesn't seem to be a bad guy. Anyway, I'm done with this. I'm going to go watch some DVDs. I get into this debate so much, I just couldn't resist making this video.